I know that not a lot of people here right now, but for those that are, a little bit of a sneak little peek there. The tiniest creature. Look at her. The tiniest baby. Just like flopped down on the side there. Aw, she's so cute. Could you turn your audio up? Yeah. Well, I just turned away from my mic there, Shadow. I'll move my mic closer. Is that better? Is that better? You can see the cat right there. Just, just doing an exist. Just doing an exist. Ugh. Shirts ripped. I don't care. I need new shirts. I want to hug her. Everyone wants to hug her. Everyone wants to give Sarah the snuggles and the kisses and the like, just everything. Honestly, she's a spoiled brat, but like that's my fault. Also, my tongue is blue because I had a freezy. Yes, imperialism is dumb. It's extremely dumb. Can't can't hear you like super quiet. What do you mean I'm super quiet? I have like boom. That's gonna blow your eardrums out now. So how about I do this? Oh, is it because like oh that explains a lot. Hold on, yeah. So like I keep it down because I have a fan underneath my compute like underneath my desk, and I don't want you guys just hearing that. So like turn it right back down like that. Can't hear it anymore. Is that better? I also got coffee. My suit came in today. My suit of destiny, came in. So that's exciting. It's very exciting. And my wedding is in. Hi, Magica. Okay, better on YouTube. I guess just Twitch then. They're having a bit of problems. I haven't even got my Twitch payout today. I'm gonna check to see if they got to that yet. You guys can't see what I'm doing. No! My money hasn't arrived. Where's my money, Twitch? Where fuck is my money? Oh, the Imperium of a Man does suck. The Imperium of Man does suck. That's the point of it. It's supposed to suck. It's supposed to be a miserable hellhole that no one wants to live in. Sure, you have like a few of your agri worlds here and there that might be nice, but your chances of being born on a hive world where you're sardined between your fellow workers don't make me get my titans to step on you. Oh, step on me harder, Omnissiah. Can't hear you. What the fuck is with Twitch today? The fuck is with Twitch? Fuck is with Twitch? I can hear you. Cool. I don't know why some people can and can't. I'm like fucking deep throating my mic. I got it like right here. Like what?
Is everything okay? What's going
Twitch is being dumb. People can't hear me.
on?
Some people can, some people can't. It's pretty fucking dumb.
If only some people can't hear you, then it's something on their end, not
Yeah, no, I think it has something to do with why I haven't got my money today.
I will check to see.
Cox flamethrower like a shotgun. Where's my money, Twitch? Where is it? Whoosh. New Adeptus Mechanicus idea. New flamethrower speak device. Every time that a flamethrower is fired, it goes, whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I switched over the tag to the Warhammer tag, by the way. So I fully expect at some point, or luckily if we don't, that the worst parts of the 40k community, the fucking LARPers, are gonna come in here and start bitching at me, and I'm gonna start roasting them like a fucking salamander would.
Have I mentioned how much I hate Twitter?
Oh, I hate it too.
It won't let me view comments on a tweet without me logging in or signing up.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
No, give me your phone.
Oh, give you my phone. My phone. How do I know you didn't steal my money? How do I know you didn't steal my money?
I'm marrying you. Our finances are going to be linked. What's the point?
That's a very good statement. Where's my money? No, I need this money for my vacation. I can't go to America with $250. It's barely anything in American. Noise Marine shooting whoosh guns. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just like the Imperial Guard on the other end of the wall. Jesus Christ! Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This noise pleases Slaanesh. Ah, good times. Good times. Good times. Ah, okay. So why do I want to talk about the Imperium being shit? Well, considering that 10th edition's coming, and a lot of the 40k LARPers have decided to open their goddamn mouths, I think it's about time I remind people why the Imperium sucks dick. And not in the fun gay way, but like the bad way. Okay, so an empire is only as good as the people that run it. And the Emperor was not a good man. He can be classified as a man-child that, although his dream was noble, his execution of that dream was horrific as fuck. And he was incredibly racist, and racist can mean... Racist does not mean just against humans. Racist is a catch-all term for different being hostile and prejudiced to other races, not just peoples. Not just like peoples of your race. But the Imperium was built to be a extremely oppressive scientific society. Where everything, all of it, was built to improve and empower the state. In the first Horus Heresy book, Horus Rising, Ignis Carcassi is a character in it. Ignis Carcassi is a poet. Exactly. You are... We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I thank you for bringing it up, though. I appreciate you. So, what the fuck does that mean? Ignis Carcassi was a remembered sir, or as we're gonna put it very bluntly as he does, he's a fucking propagandist and he hates it. He's a poet. However, he is self-aware enough and intelligent enough to know, oh, my poem's being used as propaganda for an empire that I don't necessarily like. And essentially, that's what the Remembrancers were during the Great Crusade. They were propagandists. They were people who wrote about the victories of the campaign, who talked about the glory of the legions and the military officers that conducted the wars. And these could be wars that ended in days. It could be wars that ended in months, years even. And you don't have to be truthful with propaganda. Propaganda is not always based on truth. It is based on making you feel good, that your side is doing good. Did you know that in the Imperium's early days, it was nearly brought to its knees by an outside alien force? Yeah. Fun fact, the Dark Angels were the biggest legion. And now they're not. And it was all quietly swept under the rug because it made the Imperium look weak. And it's heavily hinted that we lost 2 legions to that. Isn't that fun? Expunged from history. Because even though it was a victory, it was such a vicious, costly victory that people would have gone and asked the question, what was the point? If you're a propagandist, you understand how bad a situation is. Now, not every Remembrancer was as aware as Ignis was. There were those who were too proud in their situation, or they were too loyal for their own good to kind of realize the writing on the wall. And Ignis was loyal to humanity, but he wasn't loyal to the Imperium. But he still was killed later on because he was honest. He wasn't killed by the Imperium, mind you. He was killed by Horus's side. But even the Loyalists hated him because officers and soldiers in the Imperium, if they heard him talk the way he talked a lot of the time, he got fed a diet of his own teeth. And that wasn't just him. Then comes administration. What was the administration back in 30K like? Very, very removed. We're going to put it that way. When you have a power that rules over you who is kilometers away, someone who's not even in the same realm as you are, it can feel like they don't understand what's going on, and it can feel dispassionate. And in a galactic sense, that's very true. When you have a planet, when you have your own planet that you live on, where you're doing your own thing, you have your government that dictates what you do, kind of a thing, like has its laws, you guys have all agreed, like this is how our civilization is going to work. And then you have some other asshole come in with a battering ram and screaming, "You now work for me." Oh, Thunder Warriors were entirely churn them out like sausages, no matter the quality. They were meant to die. They were not perfect. They were meant to die. We actually do see one that was left over, and he's basically Jabba the Hutt. But instead of like a slug man, he's like a tumor man. It's kind of depressing. But yeah, like
Everybody can hear you now?
yeah, everybody can hear me now, I think.
Okay, good.
But yeah, like the Imperial administration was centered on Terra. It was centered on Earth, and it doesn't matter what your situation was. You could be a planet that was brought into Imperial compliance through negotiation and working it out through civil discourse. Or you could be one of the unlucky fucks that got on the wrong end of the Night Lords. Or you could have been one of the unluckier fucks and got on the wrong end of the Iron Warriors. A civilization that was a society that was brought into compliance through civil discourse, and a civilization that was brought in through military compliance are forced to pay the same tithes regardless of their situation. So imagine this. You have a village. You are the leader of this village. And you have a neighboring village just yonder that way. Just a little bit yonder, a little bit yonder. And then you have the kingdom come in and they talk to your neighbors, and your neighbors agree to join them. And you decide, no, I don't like the king. I don't like what he's doing. I like how my little garden is done the way I like my little garden. And then the king comes in, burns your house down, and proceeds to kill half of your population of 100 people, bringing you down to 50, and like having an occupying force just stand there and stare at you like this, and then stab someone that dares criticize them. And then you were told immediately that you have to start paying the same amount of taxes like the other town does. Cool, half your workforce is dead, you don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore, your bush is gone, and your house is gone. You then ask, well, are you going to fix my goddamn house? They respond with, figure it out. Peace. That's the Imperium in 30K. That was the administration in 30K. Now, running a galactic empire is not easy. Hi, Blue.
Hey, Blue.
It is never easy to run an empire. But to most people, they don't tend to give a flying fuck what the empire thinks. Even those planets that joined in willingly were buckling under the pressures of the Imperium. Because the war machine must be fed. There in the Horus Heresy, you read about planets who side with Horus, not because they're politically aligned. In fact, some of the planets that joined him were victims of the very same legions that Horus brought under it into his fold. They didn't join him for that. They joined him because fuck the Imperium. We get to do what we want. And then when Horus came by and said, now you give me your shit, they told him to fuck off. And then they got wiped out. This is why taxes based on income. Yes! Don't we want it blowing that way so like it blows the hot air out of my office?
If you want to, or you can be in the path of cold airstream.
I mean, fair. Sorry, it's really hot here. The fires and the smoke are getting worse. Anyway. And you kind of see it when Marines actually talk to administrators. Even Horus is like baffled at just how out of the loop these guys are. They are talking to him like he's nothing. They talk to Horus as if he was just the common grunt. In very flowery language, mind you. Like, to an average person, you go, oh, they talk to me in a very high esteem. To a Primarch, that's talking to them like they're the common drudgery. You know, the men that conquered half that galaxy for your dumbass. And it pissed them off. It pissed a lot of the Primarchs off. Like, Jagatai, Leman Russ, Corax, all of them did not like the administration. And a lot of people didn't like the administration either. But you need an administration to run that shit. The problem is, how inhuman is that administration? Because the Imperium didn't fucking care. And that's the thing. The Imperium did not give you a sense of community. It gave you a sense of, well, my house is gone. And now there's a two-headed eagle over my head. Fuck them. And after the Horus Heresy, things just kind of got worse. The administration was gutted because, like, Terra was pillaged for about a year. And most of the administration had to be replaced. And, guys, sometimes things don't get written down in time. Some very important things don't get written down in time. And the people that know that stuff, that should have written it down, are either enslaved or they're dead. So now you got massive blank swaths of shit that you should know, but you don't. Tons of worlds that you can't tell if they betrayed because of chaotic reasons or because of you made me pay taxes that were so unfair and bullshit that we literally rebelled because we had no other option, or it was starve. The Imperium sounds like HOA. The fuck is HOA again? You know what, Shadow? I'll give that one to you. That's funny. That's funny, actually. I appreciate that. A week ago, what universe would you like to live in, reincarnated? And someone said 40K. I laughed until they asked why I was laughing, and I explained the whole propaganda thing. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! No, you don't want to live in 40K. Especially in 10th edition. Worlds are getting eaten by the fucking dozen. Note, that is 30K. Now imagine 40K, where the Imperium has gone from a scientific military state to a paranoid, delusional, theocratic, authoritarian military state, where you better believe in the Holy Lord, or I'm burning your whole goddamn planet to the ground. Wait, but I'm the atheist. Why is my whole planet being punished for this? Because your sins was thought. You thought a little bit different than the rest, so you gotta burn, with a more British accent to it. So it'd actually be like this, and I'm going to burn you to death because you are a filthy heretic, and you deserve it. Do I not get a trial? Oh, the Abadi's already arrested you. Modern 40K is so fucking bad that when Gulliman, the statesman, the man that knows how to plot a civilization, who knows how to make it efficient and good for everybody, looked at the Imperium and went, I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. This is a near godlike being with a brain that processes information way faster than any of us, who reacts in such such seconds that it looks like he's invisible when he moves. Even he doesn't know how to fix it. Because the Imperium is self-sabotaging. Because it needed to be, to survive. And even then, it's not surviving. It's dying a slow, agonizing death. Marines are inherently highly independent psychopaths that roam the galaxy and help whoever the fuck they want. You could be in a war zone getting your asses kicked, and then you see drop pods coming in. You better start fucking praying that it's the Blood Angel, Space Wolves, or Ultramarines, or one of their many subchapters. Because if it's like the Marines Malevolent, you might as well just be a meat shield. You have super soldiers that nuked a village and laughed about it. A village of people where they just let the orcs in because it was easier target practice. And that was the legit reason. It was easier to hit them in the village. I don't want that as a military force around me. They don't even get along with their fellow Space Marines. In fact, Space Marines shoot at each other all the time. Oh, God. Starship Troopers is a fucking mess. No amount of duct tape, chewing gum, and WD-40 can fix this. Pretty much. And then there's the administration again. You have 12 High Lords. Good fucking luck figuring that shit out. You have an entire government that is self-interested, doesn't want to work together, and will happily shoot each other in the kneecaps if able to. And then there's just, like, trying to get shit to move in the Imperium. The Imperium has to defend everywhere. It has limited resources. And again, you have to deal with the Mechanicus, an independent state in the Imperium, where you have to negotiate with them to get your arms and armor and the ships, because they also manufacture everything, so all your stuff is localized, like way too independent. So you, like, if you lose something, it's gone. It's just fucking gone. We've lost 10 variant Leman Russ designs because one factory made them and they refused to share it with anyone else. And those designs are gone. The Vanquisher Leman Russ tank is set to go extinct because an Orc Wa took over the planet that made them. That is horrific strategic planning. But that's what happens when you have a bunch of robotic psychopaths who go, yeah, no, you don't worship the robotic god that I do, so why the fuck should I listen to you? And then, after you manage to negotiate getting arms and armor out of the Mechanicus, now you gotta figure out where you're getting your troops from. People are expendable in 40k. You are expendable to the Imperium. You are a number, and you will be used. No one cares about you. In the higher echelons, you are expected to do a job and die doing it. And for those who survive, congratulations! There's the next shithole. Good luck. Figure it out. Oh, I see you've gone AWOL. Better hope the Commissar doesn't find you. You will give your you will die in the Emperor's service, whether you like it or fucking not. And even then, sometimes the Imperium just fucking loses. There's an entire campaign where the Imperium loses a mining world that is labeled as instrumental to the manufacturing capabilities of a Forge world. And they learn that the Tau are encroaching on that territory, like they've set up shop. And they go and try to take it back. They send in 8 regiments, a Titan Legion, and a Space Marine chapter. Fun fact, there were supposed to be 10 regiments, 2 of them got caught up, and 1 of them blew up in fucking space before they even touched the ground. That's great. That's... And then I'm quoting the Imperial Guard commander, getting the Space Marines to help out was like pulling fucking teeth. Because if the Space Marines don't agree with your tactical decision, they can rightfully tell you to shove it. And that's what they did. Regularly. They actively told Imperial commanders to shove it. Because their opinion is stupid. Pulling teeth would probably be easier. But yeah, they lost that planet. They lost that planet. Like, even the Tau were stunned at the absolute fucking bitter resentment and, like, absolute insanity of the campaign. They're like, guys, we've beaten your ass so hard, just take the governor and leave. Like, what more do you want? And the Imperium would not settle for anything less than a total victory. And they failed. They got pushed off the planet, pushed out of the system. By all accounts, with how big the Imperium is, you think they could take a planet. They couldn't. They couldn't do it. The administration didn't give a shit. The Imperial Guardsmen were understaffed. The Space Marines couldn't be fucked to give a shit. And the Titan Legion was on loan. On loan! And then after the campaign, the 3 Titans that survived told the Imperial commanders that survived, go fuck yourself. We're not helping you again. So that's 3 Titans just sitting in a hangar doing nothing. Like, it's utter ass backwards. And that's not even getting into the internal politics. That's just a failure. You should see what they did to Creed. When Cadia fell, there's a whole book about his daughter and how she has to rise above his failure. She considers her own flesh and blood, her dad, the man who had to defend Cadia by himself with very limited options, after most of High Command was killed, through no fault of his own, he is made the sole bearer of the blame. And he's not even there to defend himself. She hates her father, and the Imperium hates Creed now. They hate Pask because he failed and he's dead. Bye. You two will not be remembered nor loved ever again. It is horrifically disgusting. You cannot fail in the Imperium. Failure is not a lesson to be learned, it is something to be shot over. To be executed. Imperial commanders will regularly put blame on a lower officer to escape martial punishment. And then they don't learn. They never learn from failure. The greatest teacher is failure. Space Marines get that lesson daily. Failure is the best teacher, but not every Space Marine chapter accepts fucking failure. Look at the Iron Hands. They can't accept that what happened on Istavan was their fucking fault. And now they vent their anger and aggression on anyone else that comes near them. Even the Raven Guard and Salamanders, 2 chapters that bear the same problem as them, like, were at the same place as them and took the same casualties. Nah, fuck them. They're to blame. Stupid Raven and Salamander bitches. They're to blame for our failure. No one, not us. We did nothing wrong. There are characters in 40k that are very self-aware about how bad their situation is, and they can't do anything about it. Typhus Cain, Ibram Gaunt, what's her name? Fuck, what's her name? Typhus Cain, Inquisitor. Amberly Vale. Amberly Vale, an Inquisitor. Even the Inquisition understands how fucked the Imperium is. And half of them could give less of a shit. The Inquisition of itself, if you have an Inquisition in your society, someone fucked up. The Inquisition acts as private investigators, military generals, and absolute authority. The only Inquisitor that outranks every other Inquisitor is the one that sits on the High Council. Yeah, Amberly Vale. She's absolutely wonderful. One of the funniest 40k characters ever, and has my favorite quote of "That's a stupid place to put a tea set anyway." But yeah, like the Inquisition. Like, guys, in our modern history, like in our history of humanity here on Earth, the Inquisition was terrible. It was witch hunts every day with them. If your neighbor didn't like you, they would just sell you out to the Spanish Inquisition, and they would torture a confession out of you and then burn you at the stake. Or just kill you after torturing you for weeks. They would drag it out. And the Inquisition in 40k? Who? You better fucking hope that you're on an Inquisitor's neutral side. Not bad, not good side. There's no good side with an Inquisitor. You're neutral to them. You better hope you're fucking useful, or they kill you right quick. And it's terrifying. It's fucking horrible. Because, like, it depends on which one you run into. If you run into an Ordo Xenos Inquisitor and they get a hair smell of a Xenos in your general vicinity, they will stare you with the most calm, most smiling demeanor and say, "So how long you been selling out the Imperium for?" As a stormtrooper puts the muzzle of his las gun to the back of your head and says, "Answer the question or I'm going to fry your brain." And if you don't give an answer that they like, they're going to take you back to the ship, and they're going to torture your ass, even if you actually don't know anything. Then there's the Inquisitors of the Order Hereticus. Why didn't you pray today? Why didn't you pray today? I had quotas to meet for the Emperor's holiness, like, to meet his holy wars and everything. Oh! So you didn't castrate yourself on the fucking assembly line, eh? 2 million years! Facts, Bath! Or the Ordo, Eh. Xenos, Hereticus, Malleus. There we go. Then there's the Ordo Malleus. You mean an Ordo Malleus Inquisitor, you might as well just consider yourself fucked. You might as well just consider yourself SOL. Because there's no coming back from that shit. When a demon hunting Inquisitor is at your fucking doorstep, you look to the nearest asshole and respond, who worships the demons? Because you just fucked the rest of us. Because when an Ordo Malleus Inquisitor shows up, it better be life or death. Because it's gonna be death. Ordo Redactus.
We're sorry. Your local planet can't get to you at this time. It appears that they never fucking existed.
When you have those three organizations with near infinite power, who only can police themselves, that is horrendous. And that's right. The Inquisition has no oversight. None. They oversee everyone else. Except the High Lords. Unless an Inquisitor comes with massive, substantial proof that one of the High Lords is a fucking traitor, you can't touch the High Lords of Terra. Except if you're a High Lord of Terra. Now, granted, Gulliman proved that he could touch them. He fired half of them out of a fucking cannon. Multiple times. And it's horrifying. And then we get to the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard can be summed up as World War I in space. World War I. Guys, I don't need to tell you how World War I was. It was a war that was extremely unpopular. There was no clear good or bad guy because some asshole killed a prince and his wife. Who were just going to go see people at a hospital because of a previous assassination attempt. An entire war started from that. And they do it all the goddamn time! They do it all the goddamn time! It's so bad! It's so easy! Yeah. World War I without the Christmas truce. Being a guardsman fucking sucks. You are given 2 packs of rations, 3 lasgun charges, basically like a battery of 120 shots each. You will blow through that. You have a lasgun if you're lucky, and body armor if you're lucky. It may not fit. One size fits all does not always fit all. And then you're lucky if that armor stops something. And there is no glory in pointless death. But that's the Imperial Guard in a nutshell. You are expected to die, so go die. And a metric assload of cousins wanting each other's kingdoms. Correct, Peach. Correct. But the idea is that the Imperial Guard are meat shields. And thanks to the Horus Heresy, they were divided. So you have highly specialized regiments that make it easier to eliminate them if they were to go traitor. So you'll have an army of infantry, you'll have an army of tanks, you'll have an army of strike fighters with parachuting paratroopers. But here's the thing. Now you have to coordinate all those different regiments with all different cultures and beliefs in a war zone. The 252nd Catachan is not going to get along with the 81st Mordian because they're two radically different cultures. One is raised on a death world where survival of the fittest exists and you have to be fiercely independent. The other one is you obey orders or you die. If I tell you to hold the line and I don't give you another order for another 6 hours, you better be holding that fucking line when I get back. That's Mordia. If those two regiments meet on the are working together, you better best damn well hope they're not going to shoot each other. Because one will see the other as an undisciplined swine, and the other one will see them as a bunch of fucking blowhards that need to get over themselves. And I'm telling you right now,
It's not the Mordians firing first.
Catachans have killed for a lot less. And I'm usually right on that one, because Catachan, holy shit, these guys. They are the American jungle fighters for a reason, and they hate everybody who's weak. The Imperial Guard is a fucking mess of trying to get troops to move, trying to get them to work together, and supplying them. And properly supporting them as well. And it's no wonder that when a regiment goes through enough shit, they say fuck it and rebel. And usually, they manage to convince a few other regiments that have just been going through the same shit as them to rebel with them. Because people who are angry are going to talk to their fellow angry person. And be angry at you. It doesn't matter if they think they can win. Better to die trying than die for nothing. Does it sound like the African campaigns of both world wars? Because it is. Because it is. And then there's the religious angle. Guys, I'm an atheist. I believe that there is no God. I believe that we're a bunch of meat sacks that live for experiences only. Now, a lot of you could say that's a sad belief in existence, but I say it's the most realistic existence I'm getting, and I'm making the most out of my short life. And I don't need a book to tell me what's wrong or right. Now, if you are religious, perfectly fine.
Keep it out of politics.
And keep it out of my life. The Imperium went, oh, you don't worship the God Emperor, do you? Well, I hope you like 6 days in a Foxfex bath along with a summary kick to the jaw. They are religious to the extreme. And you better be believing in the Emperor, because there's no other god worth worshipping. And if you dare utter another god's name, you remember the cock and flamethrower noise? That's what you're getting. There are some planets just dedicated to worship. Dedicated to it. And the entirety of Terra is overrun with pilgrims, lining the streets, starving to death just for the fucking privilege to starve to death on a higher echelon of Terra. Because the Emperor will save us. 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 It's watching a bunch of people count say over and over again, all these squares make a circle. That's what it's like watching them. Even like Imperial Guardsmen, who like some of them are faithful, some of them just keep to themselves and are like, I don't believe the Emperor is like a god, but I think like he's a good man. Like they just keep to themselves and watch the whack jobs go off. And like Imperial commanders just stare at them like, man, wish they would march in that direction towards the guns. Maybe it would make the enemy waste a lot more ammo. If we assume the Eldar are doomed to extinction, would then the Chaos Gods eventually help humanity to survive, or could another species replace them? Not the Tau, they don't have enough soul. Imperium is Mr. Papa. So, Chaos got what it wanted. How do I put this? When the Horus Heresy ended, it was essentially in such a way that Chaos aligned it so that the Imperium would be stuck in stalemate. It can't die, but it's not going to live. But it's not living. They want it to be in a constant state of endless war and endless death. Because war brings out the worst in people. It brings out the negative in people, which is what the Chaos Gods feed off of the most. Because negative emotion's what the Chaos Gods feed off of. And they decided that negative emotion was the better emotion to feed off of. So they are going to keep everything as miserable as humanly possible. And the Eldar are the architects of their own prophecies. They keep trying to rely on future sight when it hasn't worked for them. It's essentially the idea that no matter what they do, they're just going to keep failing. Their race will eventually go extinct, and there's nothing they can do about it. And Chaos could give less of a fuck if they die, because they aren't important anymore. Sure, when they die, their souls are very tasty to Slaanesh, but they're a part of the grand scheme of things, and there will constantly still be war when they're gone. Tastes like blueberry pie. No, it's in such a way that the Imperium won't die, but what is death at this point? Like, to the rest of us, it's like watching the Ottoman Empire. And, like, how it collapsed. But it's just, like, an old, battered corpse where the maggots are eating at it, but still giving you orders. It's... Left Huron said it the best. The Imperium is a rotting corpse with its children eating it. It literally can't keep doing what it's doing. But there is no other way for it to do anything. Because they don't know any other way. And when Guilliman tries to introduce a new way of thinking, it just breaks it even more. He tried to introduce a new calendar. Didn't work. He tried to institute the rights of imperial citizens. Cool. How are you going to enforce that on 100,000 different worlds? Your Marines are going to go do that? Oh, you mean the psychopaths that don't know how to relate to a human being? Cool. Cool. Yo, Chaos, what you got going on? Or, yo, Tau Empire, what you got going on? That didn't work. He wants to institute military reform.
Hi, we're the Inquisition, and we're going to make your life a living fucking hell trying to do anything. We don't care if you're Emperor's son or not.
Really, Automod will actually make sense with what I typed. 40K is designed in such a way where people are like, oh, the Imperium is the only way to live, and this is the only way humanity can survive. No. This is showing you what an empire like this brings. This isn't surviving. This is waiting to die. The Imperium is not mighty. It gives off an aura that it is. But then you see that they can't take back one planet. They have all these numbers. But guess where those numbers are? Either doing nothing, too scattered to be effective, too fiercely independent to listen, or too fucking insane. Their entire bureaucracy, their entire way of life is ass backwards. Who kills the babies? Yes. A planet will be nuked for wrongthink. And then resettled and reused. All the while, orcs continue to pillage, Eldar continue to do Eldar things, the Tau Empire slips into the border, says, hey, I got a toaster here, would you like it? And then the planet goes and joins the Tau because holy shit! Now granted, joining the Tau Empire isn't much better now, because the Tau Empire is just slowly becoming the Imperium. Tyranids continue to eat things. Genestealer cults continue to have sex and then get eaten. Necrons continue to do Necron things about hating life and then yelling at them kids to get off their fucking lawn. The Leagues of Votann have finally come back and they're like, hey, so long as everyone else is dying, I can do whatever the fuck I want. How about I trade you some rare ore? And then shrug. And then there's chaos. Fuck. Anarchy to the fucking extreme, dude. And they're all too interested in their own self-fucking pity. Abaddon has stated that if I could rally every last fucking faction of Chaos under my banner and could keep them in line long enough, I could march on Terra already. But he fucking can't. Because that's the way Chaos wants it. Because it feeds them, and it feeds into their ego. Which, guess what, guys? We're the Chaos Gods in 40K. You know why 40K is shit? Because it's a sandbox. It's a sandbox for us to play in. We aren't the good guys when playing it. You are not the rebels. You are not the clone army. You are not Starfleet. You're the Imperium of Man. Your soldiers and your Imperial Guard army were most likely forced into this. Now go shoot those other models on the other side of the table because reasons. The idea is that it's a dark sci-fi fantasy universe where you can just have an excuse to shoot something. And it's interesting that way. It's a sandbox for a reason. Anyone can exist in it. Psychopaths, empathetic people, those who are completely neutral to everything going on around them, those who are politically motivated, those who are politically savvy, those who wish for glory, those who just wish to survive, to get to the next day. 40K is a very, very dark universe. Where some light gets through, there are some really good moments in it, and some really hopeful banter where, like, people go, you can't just survive day to day. That's not living. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. you can be lucky as fuck and get a commander like Caiaphas Cain, or you can be unlucky as fuck and be on the wrong side of the Inquisition, or you could find yourself in an alliance of orcs and Eldar Corsairs as a rogue trader. You could become a Mechanicus adept inside a Chaos warship or ship where your talents are extremely necessary and you know it, and you can act like a fucking asshole because of it. Because you know if those Chaos Marines kill you, they don't know how to work, they don't know how to fix an engine. So sass them. Oh, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. The idea of the Imperium is that it's a shitty place to be. And shitty places can make shitty people. It can make good people. But it's still a horrific fucking place. I had to spare $5 hanging around. Aw, thank you. Appreciate it. I get that the Imperium can't be fixed, but I'm still confused at its perpetual... Is it perpetual, or is it at least theoretically going to end at some point? Realistically, it will never fucking die. Because if it dies, GW doesn't have a faction. In lore... it's touch and go. In reality, the Imperium can never truly die until Terra falls, which Terra will never fall because GW will never let humanity die in 40k. Because guess what makes the big bucks? Space Marines do. If you want my honest opinion, if 40k was ever to end, it would end with the Imperium dying. 40k would come to a screeching fucking halt when the Imperium dies. Because there's only 3 reasons why that would happen. Orcs win, Tyranids win, Chaos wins. And there's not much 40k could do now to raise up the stakes. We're going into the 4th Tyrannic War come 10th edition. And to see how the Imperium is doing, it's not doing too well. Its empire is split in fucking half. Tyranids are coming in on all sides. Orcs are doing orc things. Eldar are doing Eldar things. Necrons are waking up left and right. The Tau Empire is doing a Tau Empire. Lionel's back. Cool. We don't know how he's going to interact with Gullymen at all. If they'll interact. They're sort of both fucking dumbasses. It's entirely fucked. But that's the point of 40k. Everything is fucked. The Imperium does not survive because it is strong. It survives because it's a fucking cockroach. And it's not surviving, it's just a corpse. A bloated, miserable corpse. It's not strength, it's not power, it is just fucking lucky that hasn't collapsed in on itself. Which it already did. Because Daddy didn't love me enough. Could the Imperium have worked? Not really. If it wasn't the Space Marines that were going to do it, it was someone else. The Emperor had no contingency plan if he died or was indisposed. There was no backup plan. It was him, ride or die. And he can't give orders anymore. He's a skeleton on a throne that can't give orders and just sits there and just watches as his empire just fucking implodes. With constant civil war. Hi, Moff. Hi. We're talking about the Imperium and why it's trash. Why it's garbage. Why it's big bad. Big bad Imperium. And technology-wise, the Imperium isn't advanced. It's not. I have a joke question about the Imperium. Shoot, go ahead. Do it. Laugh. I want laughs. I want a good time. Because Orcswin is just all orcs in the and all fighting Tyranids when they just move on to eat the next galaxy. If there is another galaxy, that's the theory. We might be the last one. Because the Tyranids are coming from all sides. All of them. Up, down, left, right, forward, back. If I piss on Blood Angel's spit on the 14th Legion members and hide behind a salamander, would I die? So 14th Legion again? Ha 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 ha! You're dead. You're dead. There ain't nothing stopping a Death Guard from getting to you. You're fucking dead. You're fucked, buddy. Like a salamander would look at what you did and then say, "Nope, you gotta reap the consequences of your actions." Then grab you and put you in front of him. I knew it, but the smile is way worth it. Yeah, no. Though, if it was during the Horus Heresy, a salamander would have laughed if you pissed on a Death Guard. And survived to tell about it. He would have found that genuinely funny. But yeah, no, the technological prowess of the Imperium is garbage. Sure, we can travel through an interdimensional stream, but even that fucks up, and sometimes we get eaten by demons. And then when we finally translate to real space, the captain of the ship pops a cork and says, "Good job, everybody, that was a successful jump. How much the crew is dead? Oh, 25%? Ah, that's fine." It is bad. Would an orc mushroom taste good prepared right? You'd just be eating an orc at that point. And then, like, you'd get eaten. But yeah, like, cool. The Imperium's got laser cannons. Power armor is just Fallout power armor. It's a little bit more advanced in some ways, but a lot more backwards than others. It's broken. Doesn't make much sense. The best ending is if orcs win. God. Yeah, that's why I play orcs. If I want anyone to win, I want orcs to win. Let me have my orc victory, please. I play Chaos, and I play Imperium, and I play orcs. Has there ever been a defector from the Space Marines? Defector from Space Marines? If so, they become a reasonably known mercenary. Chaos Space Marines? What do you mean by defector? Because there's a whole book series on my shelf where the entirety of 9 legions betray the Imperium with varying success rates. There's the Fallen Angels, who didn't side with Chaos, but they didn't side with the Imperium. There's Black Shields during the Horus Heresy, who said, fuck everybody else, I'm sticking out for my own neck. It wholly depends on who you interact with. I didn't think about it much past the general question. No, but it is a good question. Is there Space Marines that are not a part of the Imperium but not a part of Chaos? Yes. They do exist. They're called Renegades. Or back during the Horus Heresy, they were called Black Shields. Space Marines, although superhuman, are still human at the end of the day. There is very little distinction and difference outside of a lot of muscle. Space Marines can still be painfully human when it comes to politics, situations outside of their control, and stress. A lot of chapters throughout the history of the Imperium just saw the raw deal they were getting and just said, no, I refuse. And then they leave. 'Cause that's fucking bullshit. The Soul Drinkers chapter is a perfect example of this. Through no fault of their own, they were declared renegade. Even though they really did nothing wrong. And when push came to shove, they still fought for humanity. They still fought for the people. They just did it on their own terms and had to resupply themselves their own way. Now they're dead because they sacrificed themselves, well, to save the Imperial Fists, but that's how they did things. There are other chapters around who might as well be renegade, but they're not. Like, even the Night Lords during 30K, they were renegade in all but name. Because we can't let the Imperium look weak. They would just do whatever the fuck they wanted. And it was terrible. And then there's Marines that betray their chapters because they think they know better or they're just sick of it. Isidore Achios of the Blood Ravens chapter was lured into betraying his brother Marines because of both his status as a psyker and him thinking that he was powerful enough to control a demon. When in reality, he's just a human who was given a few alterations genetically. He was literally no better than an average man to a force that is beyond our comprehension. And then there's other individuals. I actually came with a 40k OC Defector Space Marine, even though I don't know much about the lore, and honestly, I want to work on it more. I can actually help you with that. I can't give you specific details, but I can give you a few options. Why did your Marine chapter defect? Who are they defecting to? Or are they defecting just because they want to be independent? And are they on the run constantly? Are they constantly trying to like resupply by raiding, or do they have like their own little cutout slice of empire? Or like, are they still loyal to humanity? Are they loyal to the Emperor? Are they loyal to themselves? Where do their loyalties lie? Are they a complete whole chapter, or are they strictly on their own? It's entirely up to you on how you want to do things. I'm really deep in the lore, so I know how to I know what I can and cannot do a lot easier than a lot of other people. But here's the thing that I want everybody here to understand about Warhammer 40k.
It's your army, your lore. You can just as reasonably exist as Ultramarines can.
Whatever you come up with can be just as fucking canon as the rest. A 5-year-old saying, "No, my Space Marine is the strongest and no one else can beat him, and my chapter master is immortal." Oh. Just as valid as the gritty Tau Empire army where they hate fighting demons, but they go out of their way to hunt them down. Great, I can't escape them even here. Fuck. Some person's trying to ask me to buy their digital art, and I'm like, no. No, go away. Go away. I don't want you here. I'll have to screenshot this for later. How much I go through my ADHD spark of inspiration. I did a small list of weapons, though I like fantasy weapons a lot. That's totally fair. Trust me, you can do whatever you want with 40k. The universe is your oyster. Do what you wish, for it is a sandbox where your Imperial Guard regiment can use flintlock weapons, but still use the Leman Russ battle tank. You can have a Space Marine chapter, loyal to the Tau Empire because they saw the greater good. You can have a Necron army that wants to return to life because they hate their metal existence. You can have a Chaos Space Marine warband wholly dedicated to worshipping Khorne and Slaanesh because they see the advantages to both. And don't care if it pisses off one or the other, because it's good for them. You can have an Eldar army get the fuck over themselves. You can do whatever you want, however you want in 40k. Fuck the gatekeepers that say otherwise. You want an entire army of female Space Marines?
Go right the fuck ahead. You want an entire chapter of gay fucking twinks? Of Space Marines? Do it!
They're just as valid. Sorry, I'm responding to a thing. Can I take a screenshot again? Sorry, I'm just doing a thing. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you something right the fuck now. If you are a digital artist, if you are an artist, do not go to people and beg them to buy your shit. That's annoying as fuck. Post your art, say your commissions are open, and wait. Going up to people and begging them to buy your shit is not good. It does not make you look good. It looks desperate, and it's fucking annoying. I could have a legion of mad badgers with laser beams stuck on their heads, Bob? Yes! You don't think some Mechanicus whack job or Dark Mechanicus whack job didn't look at that idea and go, based. Are you fucking kidding me? That shit's funny. Do it. It makes just as much sense as fucking mushrooms who scream and change reality. No one would fault you for that. Only the fucking LARPing gatekeepers would. And they're fucking boring. Fuck that noise. Do it. 40K is meant to be fucking insane. It is meant to be an insane sandbox where it's like everyone got to do something on Forge and Halo. And it's great. It is the greatest thing ever. Like, holy shit. And you totally could. You totally could. The galaxy shall fear my badger army. Do it, nerd! Fucking do it! I have had several Space Marine chapters in my life. I was cringe back then. Horrifically cringe. I had, you remember that 5-year-old bit that I had? That was me! I was the cringy 5-year-old all along! I had a Mortal Space Marine chapter master who was just as cool as Caldor Drago, if not better. And then I found out I was cringe. I want to make her into a real-life cosplay. Do it! Fucking do it! I will fucking scream if you do it. Make my fucking day. I want everyone to know this. That the idea of people just being creative with their lives and just whatever they're making. I want 40K to be a space of creativity in the grim darkness of the far future. It can be the happiest, go-luckiest group of idiots you'll ever see in your life who never see the grim darkness because they're so fucking positive. Or you could have the most depressed, depraved motherfuckers. Like when the Night Lords look at them, they go, "Tone it back, buddy. Please, for the love of God, tone it back." That was louder than my impact. Thankfully, it only fell into the lift, not the 20 feet to the floor. Song shall be the Badger song. Do it, nerd! This is why I scream at everyone. If you're going to play 40K, it is just as much your game as everyone else's. Do what you want to do with your army. I have seen people do incredible shit. I have seen someone make a model into a remote control little tank. And it was the cutest and coolest thing I've ever seen. I've seen people turn Barbie dolls into Helldrakes. I've seen people literally turn an orc bike into a velociraptor mechanical monstrosity. The Imperium sucks. But guess what, kids? 40K doesn't. Because it's awesome. It is the grim darkness of the far future that is depressing when you read the lore, but fantastic when it comes to the hobby. You can do whatever you want. Except making your army a reference to Nazi Germany, because not only are you boring as fuck if you do that, you're a piece of shit. I think the Space Wolves wouldn't hate you for that. I think they'd just be like, cool. You want to piss a Space Wolf off, you call Russ a bitch. As Natsu says, I got a fire in my belly now. Ah! The reason why I love 40K is that it was a universe that was insane and something that I could deep dive into, and that I had an escape from the world. And it took me a long time to realize what was being told to me through it. When you're younger, a lot of things can go right over your head. When you're older, those red flags that you were ignoring make themselves more prominent. The Imperium, when you read a 40k book that's not a codex, you are getting the actual experience of what the 40k universe is like. And how shit it is. And just how normal horrific shit is. A servitor is a terrifying concept of like what a horrible thing you could do to a human being. They're lobotomized people who are programmed to do a simple task for the rest of their life. That is horrifying. There are people literally hooked up to ships and just told to repeat a single thing over and over and over again until their body literally decays. It's disgustingly horrible. And just like how nonchalant people act around it. If we saw a servitor in our modern day, that's a war crime. In 40k, that's Tuesday. But when you read the codexes tell you the Imperial Guard are heroes. The Space Marines are heroes. The Eldar are survivors trying to make their way in the galaxy. Chaos is the ultimate evil because they're written as propaganda. When you read a Chaos Codex, it's like reading a book from somebody who is trying to convince you that chaos is the absolute evil of the universe. And it works. Because the propaganda for the Chaos book doesn't lie about the horrible shit that factions in Chaos do, but everything is nuanced. Nothing is black and white. It's gray. But we all understand that 40k has no good guys. Humanity went down its worst fucking path. Being a dreadnought was cool and I wanted out of that fate. Now that I think about it, all I can think is death. Just death, please. There's a character that would agree with you, and his name is Bjorn, and no one can fucking kill him, even though he wants it so fucking bad. Bjorn begs for death. He begs for it, and it's never coming. Sounds cruel, an ICU bed tank that comes with thousands of years of a lifespan. Yeah, now. Oh, it gets worse.
Which dreadnought were you put into, child?
I hope it's the box one, because that one's at least a little bit comfortable. Oh, you were put in the Contemptor dreadnought?
Welcome to pain.
Contemptor dreadnoughts actively electrocute you while you're inside of it. Because it has to keep your heart pumping. So it shocks you to keep you alive. But guess what? Those are volts going through you. That shit hurts. It's agony. Oh, you're a Primaris Marine who can't fit in a Contemptor or a regular dreadnought? Alright, here's the Redemptor. Cool, what does this do?
I'm going to use you like a fucking battery, and by the end of the battle, you're going to be a charred corpse.
Oh! And some consider that an honor. It sucks! It's terrible. Now, there are chapters that still consider it a fucking honor, and then there's other chapters that are like, this shit is terrible. Please just kill me. White Scars, they're on the side of please fucking kill me. I don't want to be in that. Even when you wake them up, they just go, please fucking kill me. I don't want to be in here. And they have no fucking choice. If you're Chaos, it's even worse because you still get electrocuted, but now you got a demon screaming at you. I wish the Legion of the Damned, if I remember correctly, wasn't discontinued. I want my Ghost Rider Space Marines, damn it. Yeah. Yep. They were fun. They were a fun little thing in Warhammer, and they haven't been seen since. They haven't popped up in the lore since. And it sucks. It sucks that they don't exist anymore. What happened to the Legion of the Damned? So GW forgot about Legion of the Damned. Honestly, if there was, if people wanted it back, GW will bring it back. But, like, there's just no reason to right now. I like the idea of, like, Demon Marines. Like, these guys are fucking cool, dude. I love the design. I love that, like, here, Shadow, I'll give you a fucking treat. There you go, buddy. There you go. This screams Shadow to me. This screams Shadow 141778883. This screams you to me, buddy. You can have this. You can have this, buddy. You can have all of it. You can have the Legion of the Damned. You can live with this. Look at that. There you go. There's your edgy. There's your edgy the hedgy. I hope you appreciate it. Because I didn't. And we lost out on some cool fucking models, dude. Hard to paint, but goddamn were they cool. Let's not go full edge, Lord. Oh, oh my sweet summer child. Oh my sweet summer child. Oh my sweet summer child. It's too late for you. You're fucked, kid. Ah, 110 AC standard home voltage is fun because it tickles. That hurts like a bastard. God, I actually, unironically, I like these models. I like the models of the Legion of the Damned. Is there a better picture I can get of these guys? Here we are. Like, look at this guy. Like, this is cool. I actually, like, really like these models. Like, this one was my favorite, like, the massive-ass combat knife. And then, like, we have, like, the one whose, like, skull is out. They're fucking Ghost Rider the Marines. And it was cool. I have their book. Which, granted, didn't focus on them because it was focused on the Exorcists. But, like, these things were so fucking cool. And it sucks that they no longer exist. Like, you got one with a Skull Corvus helmet. It's just like, guys, if the Legion of the Damned can exist, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, they're not even gone. They just have Legends rules now. Legion of the Damned, Warhammer 40k community, 2019. This is like start of 10th edition. No, 9th edition. Yeah, they have rules still. They're legends. Undead badgers with flamethrower. You can do it. You can do it. But these are kind of trash. These are kind of trash nowadays. It sucks, but that's just the reality of the situation. Plus, 25 points a model. 25 points a model for these stats. This is god-awful. But it's fun. It's fun. It's just dumb fun. Alright. So I need to get going, because I have to go try on my wedding outfit at my mom's place. But hopefully I can talk to you all again on Wednesday. You all have a fantastic night. Please don't forget to donate if you can. Or if not, share the stream around. Share it with your friends, your family. Those fucking people that need to get a clue about how bad the Imperium is. You all have a fantastic night. I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for supporting me. And, yeah.